Back to more Pokemon White 2. So last time we started exploring uncharted territory. We made it to Pinwheel Forest, and yeah, we started exploring that a little bit. So yeah, but we do have an interesting objective. We need to complete the habitat list, and hopefully you can do that today. But yeah, this time, yeah, we're gonna be continuing. In Pinwheel Forest is done, so now we're gonna be checking out the outside Pinwheel Forest. But there is a couple of things we can do. So yeah. A couple of errands, maybe. So yeah, I decided to do the big small thought off screen earlier today. So yeah, in terms of levels, everyone but Beatrick got a level, and then Serena got 2 levels. So yeah, so quite a lot of experience there. And yeah, the Nova items I got were Max Revive from a Doctor, PP Max from another veteran, and then a rare candy from a breeder. So yeah, once again, yeah, we're getting a lot of good items. And yeah, as for like other things too, yeah, Elisa came by earlier, but she wanted to see a woman at the shop, so of course that means I couldn't rank up the lottery shop, but that's okay. It's very hard to rank it up actually, because it's the only shop left, and no one really wants to go there, so yeah. Unless yeah, I'm kind of mistaken, but anyway. So that's all your items, so let's go get all your items. As once again, yeah, good to have these in the reserves just in case I want to EV train Pokemon differently, so yeah. But as for other things, yeah, this is the week where we had all the amazing game announcements. Like, before I went to work for the week, we got Persona news. I think I have a topic about Persona as well, so I'll talk about that. And of course there's the Direct, which I did a very long community post on, and then I'm going to do a very long... this is probably might have already come out, but yeah, probably want to do a very long video about Fortune Sleeve as well, because there's a lot to digest now, so yeah. So yeah, bought all that. Let's see what you're going to give me. He's still only rank 8, so yeah. Still got a bit of a ways to go for these rank 10s, so yeah. Again, he just gives you kind of free items. Again, the museum is probably better than that, but hey, it's fine. So I'll take another Max Revive, another PP up. Why not more Gatos and Ether? I'll be fine on my. I still need to sell some treasures that I've gotten, so yeah, I'm gonna be fine. So yeah. May I say it today? I think yeah. One of the things I want to do is I want to like complete some errands, basically. That's kind of what I want to do. So yeah, basically some like loose ends from the last couple of parts that I want to complete today. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So buy all these berries. I was also thinking about how to change my movesets. I was definitely considering Sword Center Antonia. The problem with that is, though, I don't really know what hill I want to go with then. Probably the Muscle Band is my guess, which will probably make it quite good later on. Because, yeah, I do think the challenge of setting the Sword Stance is kind of worth it. Because, again, Sword Stance will make a lot of my other Pokemon a bit too good. So, yeah, with Antonia, though, it's a bit more like, yeah, skill-based. So yeah, so what I'm going to start with is we're going to go to Twist Mountain. And here's our levels too. We're starting to get into level 79 range now, which is very good. Let's go to Cyrus, and yeah, let's finish the truck quiz, because we should be on the last question. Let's go in here. So yeah, how many boulders are there in Twist Mountain? So there's going to be 2 of them. Correct, well done, you're sharp. Wow, you're amazing. You're perfect on the truck queue. Or truck. I've thought of those questions all my might, you know? You're a true heavy machinery pro. Yes, you're a heavy machinery pro, recognize our wandering judge from the medal. This is just me. I'll tell Mr. Medal about your time as a heavy machinery pro, yeah. You only get a medal for doing this, but again, that's still quite important for some people, so yeah. And yeah, Mr. Mel has some other medals for me too, so yeah, let's have a look. We get Heavy Machinery Pro, we get Bridge Enthusiast, and yeah, speaking of which, let's go on next target. So we gave a dude a fresh water on Sky Arrow Bridge. So now we're gonna go and give him some more fresh water. So how to do this is that we need to go to a certain bridge. Next one seems to be Tube Line Bridge. So let's fly there now. Okay, Tube Line Bridge is obviously this one. So we want to go to Lucid and cycle our way through. So basically, he's going to be on all these bridges, and then we can give him a fresh water, and then we keep doing that. I don't think this is like too necessary to do, but I thought it was kind of interesting, so I kind of want to do it. Same with like the habitat list stuff like that. So any other? Oh, it's on Desert Resort. Oh yeah, it was on Desert Resort before actually, so I did catch myself a Baldon. Because the Baldon's going to be useful for something later. So yeah. So if it is Desert Resort, go there. So yeah, back on Tube Line Bridge. Where's our guy? Not sure if they're here actually. So yeah. Actually, no. I'm on the wrong bridge. I skipped this step. We had to go to. You actually got fly here. All right. I skipped this step. We need to actually go to Driftfield Drawbridge. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, let's do that. I also made nighttime just in case. Let's just say. So yeah, probably want to go to Driftfield Sea for this. So yeah, we're gonna be flying around a lot here. It's kind of weird that we're doing this now because yeah, we got the Bridge Infusers medal, but that's okay. I'm very sure that was for crossing all the bridges, and Scarab Bridge would be the last one, so yeah. I think it's you. Yeah, I'm thirsty. I bet you're the Scarab Bridge. Give me fresh water? Yeah. Refreshed. I'm 100% rehydrated. I feel better now. Thank you. I dashed the next bridge. Alright. So now we want to go to Tube Line Bridge. So yeah, I skipped this step. You actually found this bridge though, so that's kind of weird. Anyway. Let's go Lucid. I was saying one thing too about, why I'm doing this. So, one thing I am very excited for is, the future game release. Again, there's a lot to talk about. There's also, like, a good variety too, because it's not just, the RPGs too. Like, yeah, I know that some people, like, in the Direct, were bemoaning the lack of, like, new Mario game, which I can understand. Oh, you're here. No, you look the same. Okay. Always got confused there. But yeah, again, for me personally though, there's a lot of games to be excited about. So yeah, man, Triple Drawbridge, give me fresh water, yeah. I was at rehydrate, I feel better now, thank you. That's the next bridge. That one should be Village Bridge. Yeah, without a guide, this is kind of difficult, I must admit. Also, you can't play here, so yeah. Okay, we also got like 2 kind of ambitious racing games coming soon. There's one next year, one got its demo, which I might check out at some point, so yeah. So there's also that, of course, RPGs really eating good today, or now I should be saying. As again, the Direct was, swarming them. Of course, I'm very excited about Xenoblade as well. Next year as well, that's going to be a big release. It could very well be Game of the Year as well. But knowing, the Game Awards, it's probably going to get snubbed by some other game. Because that's just how it goes. But anyway, I actually don't know what could get Game of the Year this year, to be honest. We'll find out, I guess. Anyway, here he is. So yeah, give him the fresh water, yeah. And he's off to the next bridge. This one is going to be Marvelous Bridge. So we want to go to Nimbasa probably. Yeah, it's really not the easiest thing in the world. Because there isn't like a convenient fly place on top of them, so yeah. Yeah, again, yeah. I'm definitely quite excited about what the future of gaming is going to look like too, so yeah. I must admit. So yeah, we'll see how, how things go. obviously, so yeah. But like I said, that makes sense. Just that, yeah, the only problem is I just don't have the time to play everything at once, so yeah. That's just how it goes. Anyway. But yeah, this is probably like an excuse to get the bridge achievement as well, anyway. Oh, you're the sick guy. Yeah, I keep this thinking for someone else, I wonder why, but anyway. Give him the freshwater. No, I'll leave for the marine tube. Things are a little different this time, because yeah, the marine tube is the last one, so yeah. So you can go to Mandela for this. And yeah, Zinz's still here, interesting enough. But anyway. So go down here. There's also Meltitis. I think it is saying a certain Pokemon at a certain time, basically. But yeah, you're here. I was don't rehydrate. I feel better now. Thank you. That's the next bridge. And yeah. What could the last bridge be? Well, yeah, it's actually on the way where we need to go. We need to go to Skyra Bridge once again. So yeah, let's go to Castillo. This kind of works out. Because again, I don't have Nectar City unlocked yet, so yeah. This kind of works out. Anyway, let's hop on our bike again. And honestly, yeah, I don't think this is very necessary. I don't think it leads to a medal or anything like that, but again, it's kind of fun. And again, yeah, it gives me an excuse to go to the Bridge Enthusiast medal, I guess, so yeah. So yeah, let's cycle on through. Alright, what you got? I ran on all the bridges in the region. It's all thanks to you. Please accept these. But yeah, Moo Milks. That does nut them, so yeah. The bridge I like best to run is a tube line bridge. I get to race the trains. That gives you power. So that's cool. Again, just a small little thing, but hey. Neat, I guess. There's a lot of things like that in this game. Because, like, yeah, you need, like, certain abilities for some people. That doesn't really give you much. And then also, there's another thing coming out too that customises as well, so yeah. You need to get like a Pokemon that's not even in this game and then it does something, so yeah. But anyway, we're here now. So one thing we need to do is we need to go catch one of the new Pokemon we can talk about. Because yeah, if you look at our habitat list, which the name I can do that is by doing this. So one thing I did do was I caught a Vigoroth, so if I use a rare candy on it, we can make it a slacking, which I believe we do need to see. So yeah, especially because yeah, I do see a Seismitoad. I do see, you know, Sorka Pro as well, so yeah, that most likely means that we need to see every Pokemon. That includes the ones in the Rustling Grass, so yeah. And yeah, I do assume that, yeah, the Rustling Grass Pokemon are going to be the one we're missing out on. Luckily though, they're very easy to get, so I can just use rare candy, and then the other Pokemon. That will also need a rare candy, but after learning a sun move. So anyway, they're best friends. Our Pokemon are best friends too. Our Pokemon are best friends too. Okay, so let's fight you, and let's go get my notes back for this spot. Alrighty, so yeah, let's give this one a go. So buying a puzzle of mine in here. I think once we get outside, that's when we'll talk about the new Pokemon, so yeah. Anyway, not a great matchup for you, unfortunately. I could go for the Volt Switch, and I'll go for the Waterfall here on the fossil. Yeah, why not? I still think this is going to do a pretty decent amount though. Yeah, in fact it's a one-shot, so there we go. So now I'm kind of wasting XP a little bit, but that's okay. Well, I'm not going to be wasting speed, let's find out. I think we will. So there we go. And now, yeah, Waterfall. That should knock up the pulsar right there, and then, yeah, there we go. Not bad at all. even if we lose, we'll still be best friends. Alright, so now we are outside Pinwheel Forest. So yeah, there's a couple of interesting things going on here. So yeah, also I do think that hidden grow Pokemon don't count, considering that yeah, you can't really encounter them. Hi trainer, please show me all kinds of Pokemon training. So yeah, we got 2 new Pokemon to talk about. We're talking about Toxicroak. You can catch it as a Toxicroak here, which is kind of weird considering that you could catch Croagunk earlier, but anyway. Yeah, so you could very well go here before you could go to Isirus, so yeah, it's a bit strange to do that, but anyway. But again, yeah, once again, Toxicroak's book I'm very fascinated by, so yeah. And it does seem like a fun book to use, so yeah. Again, kinda wish it was in the main story in some ways, so yeah. Alongside, you know, Palpitoad, anyway. The truly new Pokemon you talk about, and the one we're gonna need to catch is Yanma. So Yanma evolves to Yanmega if it has Isha power. And yeah, Yanmega's a pretty good Pokemon. Yanma was really bad, but then of course its evolution really helped it out. So yeah. Of course, Yanmega is kind of defined by its 2 very good abilities, Speed Boost and Tinted. Speed Boost obviously gives it +1 speed after each turn, so if you use Protect or Detect, I think it also gets. Yeah, you can always get a 3+ in speed and start out speeding. Great, I didn't know that laser race Pokemon. And its special attack is also pretty good too, so yeah, it's not a bad ability for it. It's just that it doesn't have the best type coverage in the world, so there will be Pokemon that will blind spot it, preventing you from sweeping across their routine. But yeah, Zero is such a good ability, it allows you to outspeed everything, basically. Which is really cool. Again, that could definitely save your team, give you a good win condition as well. Your challenge, right? Bring a Strumpo such a challenge rock. Yeah, if you bring a flying type Pokemon, I don't know if it has to have Rock Slash or not. But yeah, it's on the other side. Then you get a Star Piece in the Challenge Rock, which is very nice. It's quite nice to do early on Black and White because there's a lot of flying type Pokemon you can get. Oh yeah, Stars is a flying type Pokemon as well, so yeah. Anyway, here's a throw. Anyways, about to talk about Yanmega here. But yeah, Seaweed is very good. Tinted Lens, though, is nothing to scoff at either. Again, its type coverage isn't the best, so you could give it like a choice specs and spam like Bug Buzz or Air Slash a lot. That could do quite well as well, so yeah. So again, no matter what you go with, you have a pretty decent game plan, so yeah. But anyway, as for moves, I didn't get any new moves in this game, but that's okay. The problem is that, yeah, again, its lot of moves aren't great outside of Detect again. You could just use Protect. In fact, yeah, for a regular playthrough, you probably should. Protect only has 5 PP. But the advantage is that you can't imprison it as well because those Pokemon learn Detect. So yeah. Because yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos about Coliseum XD. Yeah, there's a lot of dust cuts to imprison that game. But anyway, hey Train, let's have a refreshing bar, blow away all my troubles. Now, of course, yeah, it does on Asia Part, I believe, level 33, which does mean that, yeah, we'll need to remember the move, maybe do catch Yanma, so yeah. Here's up for it. That's pretty cool. It also gets U-turn, which I guess could be nice. As for other moves, Psychic and Shadow Ball are main coverage options. But outside of that, it doesn't really get too much. I guess you could try using Substitute to set up the speed boost, but again, Protect is probably all you need for that. And again, it doesn't really matter that you're missing out on coverage, because again, its coverage isn't all that, so yeah. Anyway, as for egg moves, it doesn't really get much here. Reversal's interesting, but yeah, that's like, we're a few generations off of that, so yeah. So I wouldn't really recommend that one. Yeah, Seismitoad. I mean, I'm just gonna play it sipping use Antonio here. But the move tiers do give it one very good move, and that's Giga Train. Roost could also be kinda nice, but it's kinda frail, so I wouldn't really recommend that. And then of course Tailwind is also kinda nice. Its pre-evo gets Hypnosis and Wing Attack. Hypnosis is the main move, although it's not very good, so yeah, again, it was actually pretty good when Yanmega debuted because Hypnosis is 70% accurate, but then they changed it to 60% because they realized it was way too good at that accuracy, so yeah. You guys feel like an unbeatable combination. So yeah, that's why we don't get that. But anyway, as for Yanmega stats, 160 social attack and 95 speed, but its other stats aren't amazing. It only has 86 HP, 86 defense. I mean, that's not bad for a sweeper, but only 56 social defense on that, so yeah. So again, yeah, definitely a Pokemon that, yeah, definitely pretty good. It's just that, yeah, again, you do need to be a bit careful with it, obviously. If you are using speed boost, you may need to you may want to either, set up the right conditions for it to sweep with that, or you need to set the right conditions for it to sweep with that, or yeah, just go for it, I guess. I think a regular flame, you don't need to worry too much about that because it should do quite well. I will say with the tinted, I feel like the tinted lens moves that might actually be a bit easier to use in a regular playthrough. Hard to say because again, it kind of just seems like it's Buzz will go through anything, and then you can obviously get that with the choice specs. That might be a bit easy to use. It sounds like kind of so fun to do in Hard Gold because you get the choice specs for using that game, but anyway. Oh my, Pokemon really seem very good today. So that's something to be asking for about. The main thing I do around this Pokemon is that, when my brother tried to use it, it was really bad until it became a Yanmega, but that was near the end of the game, so yeah. Because the problem is that, you do get to Yanmega at a reasonable level, but then it has like no moves to use is the problem, so yeah. That's the thing about it. It's one of those Pokemon that really show you that, the end product isn't everything when it comes to Pokemon. Because if it starts off bad and then, takes a long time to get good, that isn't really that fun to use, especially if you do catch it quite early on. So yeah. And yeah, Yanma, definitely a very good example of that, so yeah. Oh yeah, it's a pretty interesting Pokemon because of that. So yeah, there's a few more Pokemon to talk about, but we're gonna need to hit him grow first, so yeah. Now is because a good excuse to try and hunt for some Pokemon here. There's quite a lot of them that I want to try looking for, so yeah. But some of them might try to get off screen though, because it might be a bit too annoying, so yeah. But we shall see. Anyway, Flatter. Again, I'm not sure if this one is dry score or not, so I'm gonna play it safe. But yeah, Flatter is one of those moves of all time. Because Ray is special attack but confuses. And confusion is a base on special attack, so it kind of begs the question what the point is. This is how Pokemon is Ray as I thought. I assume it's like, I know the idea is that you can splat non-tempo Pokemon and it gets a free special attack boost, but at that point you probably should just use like Helping Hand or something like that, but anyway. I train like a madman, Pokemon training. I guess you could combine it with Helping Hand if the Pokemon also wants that, but yeah, again, it's one of those moves that is so niche that it kind of becomes very bad. But anyway. You have a Tyro. That's pretty cool. Let's see what Ronin could do against that. I mean, he uses Waterfall a lot here, but I probably should be using Surf, so let's do exactly that. So yeah, I did mention that, I've been watching a lot of videos about Coliseum XD. Basically, there's this person who went through Ore Coliseum with only Pokemon you can obtain in-game of XD, and then I watched a video about him doing something similar with Coliseum's battle mode in the Tower Coliseum and the Ore Coliseum, and yeah, it's kind of nuts what they expect you to do for those, so yeah. I mean, XD didn't look too bad, because as long as you do have, there's some Pokemon that do very well there. And you also get like 2 Intimidates too that are pretty good as well, so yeah. The Coliseum one though, I think the thing about it is that you can bring any Pokemon, even if it's banned, and the trainers are going to do that as well. They will use Kyogre and Groudon against you, so yeah. And that's very scary as you probably expect. Yeah, even though I lost so much. It was interesting to learn about because it did make me think, the person's skill level was like so much higher than mine, it was kind of crazy, I must admit, so yeah. Let's go get another PV Max, so just really, showering me with these, and let's go fight you. I test the challenge rock with my fist every day. It is important to make steady progress little by little. But yeah, there's like a daily event too, which is very nice too. This thing that you can get a lot of money, or you can obviously trade the star pieces during the weekend as well. At Anvil Town, yeah, that's what it's called. So you could do that as well, so yeah. Hey, there we go. I think another thing too about that gameplay is that, the person really knew how the AI worked, well, a lot better than I would, obviously. And then also, they were looking up the trainers too, but then again, if I was to go through Ori Colosseum and stuff like that, I would probably do the same, so yeah. Because yeah, it does give you a very big advantage if you do that. If you're just going in blind, yeah, a lot of problems can happen, so yeah. But here's a Poliwrath. I can't really touch Poliwrath with this moveset, so yeah, we're gonna go into Antonio, I think. I'm fine with that. So what do we need to take? A Mind Reader. So yeah, now we're gonna go for the Leaf Blade, and hopefully that's good enough. We'll need to heal a little bit, but yeah, I don't think there are too many other trainers left here, so it should be just fine. And there we go. Not too bad. And Ronan gets level 79. I still have not trained hard enough. Okie dokie, so yeah. So Ronan wants to go in the back now. I don't use Vitra in a lot. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that other thing I did. I completely forgot. But yeah, I actually went to the Battles subway. I did the single battles again. And I got enough BP to buy myself a choice scarf. So yeah. So I did that. That'll be very useful for the PWT if I want to keep using this team for it. So yeah. Yes, again, having that speed control for High Dragon could be very nice. So yeah. But anyway, here's Lingrow. There's a lot of Pokemon to talk about here, so yeah. So I'll talk about the uninteresting ones first, I guess. Machamp with Telepathy. Not great because its regular is huge power, which doubles its attack, so yeah, you don't want this. What Telepathy does though is that it makes it so that in a double battle, if your ally Pokemon uses a move that hits an ally, Telepathy will make you auto dodge it, which is kind of nice. But it kind of feels like one of those ways they just throw on already good Pokemon, like Legendary Pokemon for example, so yeah. It's kind of a weird ability, I must admit, but hey, it is kind of good in Double Battles, and Double Battles are very important, so yeah. Hey, you're a trainer too. Hi trainer, I'll let you see what kind of Pokemon I have. Okay then. So again, I definitely don't recommend that one. Then you got Hariyama with Sheer Force. It has a lot of coverage with Sheer Force, I think, like Elemental Punches, for example, Rock Slide. Unfortunately, none of its Fine type moves, I believe, get a Sheer Force boost, which is the only issue. But yeah, it's not bad. But Hariyama's other abilities are also really good. Guts, obviously, is very good with the Flame Orb. And it can also maybe use Dream Punch with that as well. I think it does get Dream Punch to do that with, so yeah, you could do something similar to what I was doing out with Conkeldurr. I don't think it'll be as good as Conkeldurr, but it'll still do a pretty good job. And then it also gets Thick Fat too, making it actually decently tanky, so yeah, you could use Bulk Up on it in that case as well, so yeah. Quit bugging me. So again, it's technically not bad, especially depending on your moveset, but again, its abilities are no such either though is the thing, so yeah. But anyway, let's go get this in. I'm an Ultra Ball. I'm basically going to go back to Nacrene to heal, and also, yeah, register it as a fly spot, which will be very useful coming up. It's always really convenient. But anyway, let's get into the good stuff now, and also Mr. Metal, so. Here's a Hint Metal. Alright, and now let's go heal. Easy, like I said, there's still Pokemon to find in the grass, so we're gonna do that. Now let's get in the good stuff. Bacon with Sheer Force. Shogun gets Overcoat, but of course, what you really want to know is that Salamence gets Moxie. A very good ability for Salamence, because it basically means that, yeah, you can give it a Choice Scarf, or a Choice Band even. Choice Scarf's probably better for the strategy. You can make it use like Outrage or something like that, and then it'll just keep getting plus on special attack, yeah. Depending on how the battle goes, yeah, you might just, you know, sweep your opponent right there and there. So yeah, it's very good. It's also just really good in general outside of that, because it gets Dragon Dance. So yeah, you can just swap once, outspeed most of your enemies from that, and then, you know, just Dragon Claw them down or something like that, and then yeah, just keep getting plus on attack. That is obviously very, very good. Of course, though, Salamence has to choose between that and Intimidate, and Intimidate's excellent in Double Battles, so yeah, not an easy choice for Salamence. But of course, if Salamence is being basically used only for offense, then yeah, Moxie might be the way to go. But again, Intimidate is just really good defensive utility though, is the thing, so yeah. So it's very hard to, you know, it's very hard to, you know, ignore that basically, so yeah. There you go, that's gonna be a fun one. And in fact, yeah, there are some stories about Moxie summons too. So I did the Battle Tree in Sunwilla, and I got some really high win streaks, and one of the reasons why was my shiny Moxie Salamence that could also Mega Evolve after it gets the Moxie boost. And then yeah, as you probably said, yeah, things get very fun after that, so yeah. So yeah, definitely a Pokemon that has some good memories of using. That's the next shot. And of course the big one, Poliwhirl with System. So this becomes System with Poliwrath. That's not bad. Because again, Poliwrath doesn't have too much going on with it, I must admit. It doesn't get the best fine type moves in the world. There's a Yanma. So getting a Catchus. There's some other Pokemon you find here, but it does look like they don't want to show up. So yeah, this might be something to do later on. Let's get the Quick Ball. Nope, that's good enough. Hey, I remember that, yeah, me and my bro had to work really hard together to find Yama because it was a 1% encounter in Heart Gold, so yeah. Not easy though. Hey, if you do get Yama, by fapping its wings are high C and can fly free through the air. Even Sun stops on, no problem. So there we go, and yeah, if I give it Airship Pat and Red Canyon, that should be good then. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Poliwrath again, it does give it something to do. It's not the best system in the world, but again, it's not a bad ability to have, obviously. Power up its all type moves, and then, you know, make it a bit faster too. Not bad. But of course, yeah, the main thing though is Politoed. It gets drizzled. Do I need to say anything more than that? I don't think I need to, but I will anyway. So of course, I think a lot of people consider rain the best weather in the game because it does so much. I think one of the main things is that not only does it boost the power of water type moves, but also you can combine that with System Pokemon as well. So yeah, one of the scariest Pokemon to do this with is Kingdra. Kingdra gets System, it has very solid stats all around, and then yeah, not only is it, you know, much faster, in fact it outspeeds like most things now, its water type moves get a boost too, so yeah, it's incredibly dangerous. As you probably expect. Rain doesn't just do that though, it also, you know, lowers the power of fire type moves so that, you know, you can use a bug steel type Pokemon. They basically don't really have a weakness to worry about anymore. So something like, you know, Ferrothorn, Fortress, and Sizzle, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time breaking through them. Now you can't strike that 4 times weakness anymore. Thunder becomes 100% accurate, so electric type Pokemon really like Rain too. It's a very, very nice power boost when compared to Thunderbolt, and in fact, yeah, Pokemon that use Thunderbolt for coverage can switch to Thunder as well, like Starmie for example. So yeah, that's really good. Hurricane becomes 100% accurate. There's one Pokemon that really abused this that we haven't talked about yet, but again, Hurricane is a very strong move in its own right, so yeah, just getting 100% accuracy like that, that's also quite amazing, and yeah, that's the main things that Rain could do, but it can do more things too. There's still more abilities that activate in Rain, like Hydration for example, so yeah, as you can probably tell, Politoed enables so many strategies. It's definitely one of the best hidden grab we're gonna find, hence why it's also on the rarest, so yeah. So yeah, that's yeah, really amazing to talk about, I must admit, so yeah. Yeah. The fact that they you know, give you that, it's kind of insane, I must admit, so yeah. Anyway, it doesn't look like we're finding anything too notable here, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to complete the, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go complete the habitat list now, so what we need to do is we need to go to Driftvale. I'll say we're going to at least find one of these before this part ends. I think that's what I want to do, so yeah. Let's go to, yeah, the PWT to do this. I guess, yeah. So like I said, yeah, I think what we need to do is, yeah, we need to evolve my Vigoroth and my Yanma. And then by doing that, then we can then by doing that, yeah, we should be able to put the habitat list. So yeah. So let's have a little look. And yeah, you may notice I have another extra there. That's also for something later too. So yeah. Anyway. Ooh, what a nature, that's not too bad. It's combat eye, so yeah, it has tinted lens. It's gonna get tinted lens. Anyway. There we go. Alright, so yeah. Of course, yeah, Yana needs to remember Asian power. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I should have enough heart skills to do this, so yeah. Now, yeah, there's a trainer in the Dream Yard that has a slacking, so you can do that. Trainers of Young Mega though, I think there might be one in the in the big thing small court, but yeah, I'm not gonna take my chances. So yeah. There we go. Alright, so now we have the pieces in place. I should have, you know, enough red candies. I just got one earlier today, so yeah. Yeah, 25 of them, and then yeah, I have 24 of these and 9 of these, so yeah, anyway. So yeah, red candy and Vigoroth. Let's go Slacking. Slacking is a Pokemon I saw a lot in Coliseum XD videos as well, because yeah, I really love using this as a choice band, or skill swapping its thrown away, so yeah. And there we go. It's still not a great Pokemon, but hey. It is what it is. And then we'll use one on Yanma as well. And then that should be the habitat list done. And if not, well, we're gonna have to look and see what we're missing, so yeah. And there we go, Young Mega. Everyone that calls Cries, I must admit as well, so yeah. So there we go. Might as well just use the red kinds like that, because I don't really see myself using them on my team, because they're gonna level up just fine. So yeah, let's check out Pokedex. And there we go. So yeah. Now we should be able to show that to the person who's asking for it. And we'll see what our reward is. And yeah, I think to end this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can make that thing happen. And if not, oh well, I guess. Because the annoying thing about this is that you can't repel trick this, so yeah. Which is a bit annoying because yeah, these Pokemon are lower level than the wild Pokemon, so yeah. Like I said, that's a bit annoying. Anyway, so let's get Serena back, and let's get Ronan back. And yeah, I think yeah, once I do that next time, yeah, we're gonna be exploring Necrete City, I think. That should be fun. So yeah, like I said, yeah, let's go and see if I can find one of those special encounters. So yeah, so let's go back to Necrete, and then yeah, let's have a little look. There we go. Took a long time, but yeah, End's Pokemon are also here too. 3 of them. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to show all of them because yeah, that one took around 10-15 minutes, I think. So yeah, luckily though, yeah, they're only level 13 around the bouts, and yeah, they are honorable Pokemon. So yeah, we can always use the Quick Ball. So yeah, this should be an easy catch. There you go. So yeah, the other 2 we need to hunt for is P-Dove and Timple. Always carrying squared logs. They have other construction. As they grow, they carry bigger logs. So there we go. I'll definitely move it back to the end box of Pokemon. Anyway, one last thing obviously to do. Let's go talk to you. After the execution, you have a task. I want to know about the Pokemon live in Pinwheel Forest. Yeah, many things waiting for you. Tell me when you call the Pokemon Pinwheel Forest. Ah. it's not over yet because she wants to see the Pokemon that you need Surf for, I assume. So we found all the Pokemon on the mainland, which you had to do anyway, so yeah. Now you see there though. That's not all though. It does seem like, yeah, she wants us to find Pokemon a different place. So yeah, let's just say. So this one's actually going to take us a while. Interesting. Anyway, I will keep it in my list then because of that. So yeah. But yeah, let's just say, I think I know what she's referring to. We need to find the Pokemon with fishing as well. So yeah. That shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, you have another thing for me as well. We get Evolution Tech. Not bad. So yeah, I think, yeah, I'll go catch the Ends Pokemon off screen. Probably while I'm like, if I'm gonna do this like during my free time, I guess. So yeah, yeah. And I'll splice it into whatever video I make next, I think. So yeah, so that's no problem. And as for Timber here, it's Rash Guts, which isn't a great nature for it, but hey, it still has, you know, the 30 IVs in every stat, which is definitely nice. It does mean that, yeah, you can use this Timber to make a very good Conkeldurr if you really want. That's like one of the nice things about Ends Pokemon, obviously, is you can pass on the IVs thanks to the power items in breeding, so yeah. That's obviously one of the great things about them, anyway. That done though, yeah, I think, yeah, but next time, let's explore Necrene City. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again for that.